Evaluating classification models, accuracy, precision, recall. Welcome. In this lesson, we will explore how to measure how well a classification model does its job. We will see how to use accuracy, precision, and recall, three key ideas for classification problems. Real-world data from the Titanic disaster will help bring these ideas to life. If you are new, do not worry. We will go step by step from the basics to hands-on Python code. Let us begin. Running the cell now. Let us set up Python to start our lesson. This line keeps the screen tidy so we do not see warning messages. We import the warnings module and set it up to ignore all warnings. We bring in the main tools for working with data, making charts, and measuring model performance. We use pandas for data tables, NumPy for numbers, Seaborn for datasets and style, and Matplotlib for custom plots. scikit-learn helps us split data, create models, and test how good they are. This includes tools for splitting our data, building a logistic regression, and metrics we will use. We are ready to go. Running the cell now. Great! The tools are loaded. In the next cell, we will get the Titanic data. We are going to use real data from the Titanic. Let us load the dataset and have a quick look. This is a comment to show we are setting up the data. The Seaborn library gives us the Titanic data with one line. We save it as a pandas data frame. We print the shape, which means we can see how many rows and columns we pulled in. We view the first 5 rows to get a sense of what is inside. Running the cell now. Notice features like age, fare, and who survived. Which columns do you think would help predict survival? Why evaluate classification models? We build classification models to predict things. For example, will a passenger on the Titanic survive? It is important to measure how good our predictions are. That is what evaluation metrics like accuracy, precision, and recall are for. Let us learn what each one means. Running the cell now. Basic definitions. Accuracy, the percent of predictions that are correct. Precision, the percent of positive predictions that are truly positive. Recall, the percent of actual positives that we caught. Think of positive as survived for this data set. We will come back to these after making a classifier. Running the cell now. To make sure our model works well, we need to clean the data. This time, we will remove rows where age or embark_town is missing. This comment explains that we are cleaning the data. We drop any passenger where age or embark_town is missing. We create a new clean version. We print the number of rows we have left after cleaning. We check the first 3 rows to confirm missing values are gone. Running the cell now. Try removing a different column and see how the number of rows changes. Now we need to pick out what information will help the model predict survival. This comment tells us we are choosing our features and the target column. We use P-class, ticket class, sex, age, and fare as features. These are our input variables. Our target is survived, the column to predict. We print XS shape to see our selected data size. We look at the first 2 rows to double-check our features. Running the cell now. What other features could you try? Think about what might matter for survival. Machine learning models use numbers, not words, for features. Let us turn the sex column into numbers. We explain in the comment what this step is for. We map male to 1 and female to 0. Now sex is numeric. We look at the first 2 rows to check the change. Running the cell now. Can you spot the sex column now? We are ready to split our data. We need training and test sets to measure how the model performs on new data. Let us split the data so 70% goes to train, and 30% is used to test. This line explains our split ratio and the importance of reproducibility. Here we make the split, putting most data in the train group. We set the test data to 30%. Setting random_state makes sure we can repeat results. Close our split function. We print the size of each set so we know how many passengers are in train and test. Running the cell now.
Do you get different numbers if you change the test size?
Logistic regression is a classic tool for predicting yes-no outcomes. Let us train one to predict survival. Our comment shows what we are doing, training the model. We set up a logistic regression that will try up to 1,000 steps to get the best fit. We fit, or train, the model using our trained data. A message shows us the model is ready. Running the cell now. Nice! We have built our first classifier. Let us make predictions. Time to see what the model thinks about our test passengers. We are making predictions, as the comment hints. We ask the model to predict survival for each test set passenger. We print the first 10 predictions to get a glimpse of the results. Running the cell now. Are these predictions mostly zeros, ones, or mixed? Let us now measure the model's performance. Now let us measure accuracy. Accuracy checks if our predictions match the real outcomes. We comment that we are checking accuracy. We use a scikit-learn function to compute the ratio of correct guesses. We print the accuracy, rounded to 3 decimals so it is easy to read. Running the cell now. How does this number compare to just guessing? Try predicting all zeros and see what accuracy you get. Let us look deeper with precision and recall. These help us know how well we do at finding real survivors and avoiding mistakes. The comment asks what about other metrics? Precision tells us, out of all the people we predicted would survive, how many really survived? Recall is about, out of all the real survivors, how many did our model find? Print the precision, rounded for clarity. Print the recall, also rounded. Running the cell now. Are precision and recall close together, or very different? Try to explain why based on your data. Understanding confusion matrix. A confusion matrix is a simple table that shows all prediction outcomes. True positive, model said survived, person survived. True negative, model said did not survive, person did not survive. False positive, model said survived, person did not survive. False negative, model said did not survive, person survived. Let us see what the confusion matrix looks like for our test data. Running the cell now. A confusion matrix quickly tells us how many times each type of prediction happened. We use a scikit-learn function to build the confusion matrix. We print the matrix to see the raw numbers. Next, we use Seaborn to show the matrix as a colored heat map. The heat map has the counts inside each box for easy reading. We put labels on the x-axis to show these are predictions. We put labels on the y-axis to show these are actual results. A title helps explain this is the confusion matrix. And finally, we display the chart. Running the cell now. Notice which number is highest, is it true positives, true negatives, or one of the errors? What if we change the threshold? Models usually output a probability. By default, we say above 0.5 means yes. But raising or lowering that threshold can change precision and recall. You might want to find as many positives as possible, that is, high recall. Or, you could want to be super sure before calling positive, that is, high precision. Let us try changing the threshold. Running the cell now. Let us experiment by lowering the threshold to 0.3. This means the model needs less confidence before predicting survival. The comment reminds us we are changing the threshold. We first get the predicted survival probability for each test passenger. Set the custom threshold to 0.3. We predict survived if the probability is greater than 0.3. Otherwise, not survived. We print the first 10 custom predictions. Notice how they might differ from earlier. Running the cell now.
Does lowering the threshold seem to increase predictions for survivors?
Let us check what happens to our metrics now. Now we can see how the new threshold affects our results. This shows we are checking precision and recall for the new predictions. Compute precision for the custom threshold.
Are we making more mistakes? Compute recall, did we find more real survivors?
Print the precision for the threshold 0.3. Print the recall too, so we can compare with the default settings. Running the cell now.
Did precision go down and recall go up?
Tuning the threshold is a powerful way to shape model behavior. Best practices for evaluating classifiers. Look at more than just accuracy. Explore precision and recall or use the F1 score. Use a confusion matrix to understand types of mistakes. Try different thresholds to balance recall and precision for your real-world problem. Always use a clean test set to report real performance. No model is perfect. Different domains require different choices. Running the cell now. Now you get to choose. Pick any threshold you like and see how it affects the model. We give you a chance to try setting your own threshold. This asks the user for a threshold between 0 and 1. We start a try block to catch any mistakes. We change the input into a floating point number and set that as the threshold. Predictions are made with the user threshold. How does it feel to change this? We print the new precision score based on the user's choice. We print recall for the user's choice too. If something went wrong, we catch it here. Let us remind the user to put in a number between 0 and 1. Running the cell now. Practice, try a very low and then a very high threshold. Write down the effect you saw. Be sure to like and subscribe for more lessons on real-world Python data science. Challenge exercise. Change the features used to predict survival. Can you get better precision or recall? Try another scikit-learn classifier, such as random forest classifier. Compare results. Extra, plot precision and recall as the threshold moves from 0 to 1. Running the cell now. Recap, what did we learn? Today you learned how to evaluate a classification model in Python. Accuracy tells you what % you got right. Precision explains how careful your positives were. Recall shows how many real positives you found. You used the Titanic data and learned how to control model behavior with the threshold. Congratulations! Running the cell now. Thank you. Thanks for learning with us. If this video helped, please give a like or leave a comment. Remember, keep practicing, and you will build strong data skills. See you next time. Running the cell now.